Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Kate Domagle. I'm an admissions counselor here at Syracuse, and thrilled you are joining us today for our Exploring College Academics STEM session. Of course, focus on science, technology, engineering, and math today. Gonna give it about a minute before I really dig in and get started and make sure everyone who signed up to join us today, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods, is able to click the Zoom link and get into the meeting. While we give it a few seconds, I do want to make a couple of quick announcements. The first is we do have a Q&A box available tonight. So if you came prepared with any questions about Syracuse or studying STEM in college, you're welcome to use that. Also, if any questions come up for you during the session, we want to make sure we can answer those for you. One of my colleagues, Mike, is behind the scenes tonight. So don't feel like you have to wait until the end to ask any questions. He will be responding to those as we go, and will also indicate some for me to answer live at the end of the program as well. We have about 30 minutes, give or take, together this evening. This is meant to be kind of an overview. Hopefully for most of you, you are maybe a sophomore or junior in high school. Really, we want to have a series of programs designed to explore different areas of study in college and talk to you a little bit about what we have to offer here at Syracuse in those areas. So this is the first of 4 sessions. Of course, tonight's all about STEM, but we have additional sessions coming up in the coming weeks and months about business and communications, arts and humanities, social justice, government, and policy. So if any of those areas interest you, definitely encourage you to go back to our website after tonight's program and sign up for those as well. All right, so looks like most of the people who registered have been able to enter the room, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Kate Domagle. I'm an admissions counselor here at Syracuse. I'm thrilled to be with you this evening. Before we move to the next slide, I want to start with a question. So using that Q&A box, I'm hoping that if you're on the call, you can type in an answer for me using the Q&A box. So my question is this: when you first think of a career in STEM, what comes to mind? So what careers first come to mind for you when you're thinking about a path in STEM or a career in STEM? So I'm going to give you a couple seconds to type that in. First thing that comes to your mind. Awesome. I'm seeing engineer, chemist, engineering, computer science, dentistry, medical, biology, doctor. Awesome. This is exactly what I was looking for: engineering, biology. Great. Okay. So thank you. It's really helpful for me to think about where you are coming from and what might be top of mind for you. So I thought we would start off our program tonight talking about some different career fields in STEM. So this might seem a little obvious to you. Maybe you've already decided you're really interested in STEM, whatever aspect of STEM interests you. Maybe you already have a career goal in mind or a path that you're hoping to take, and that's perfectly fine. But also I want you to know that if you are undecided right now, maybe you just have been really good at science and math in high school, you're not quite sure what you want to study or what career goal you have in mind, that's perfectly okay. So whether you're thinking you might have an interest in research, perhaps you want to be in a lab, or maybe thinking about the cure or the next vaccine treatment that we might need as a public. Maybe you're thinking development and design. That could be anything from engineering, whether it's civil, mechanical, environmental engineering, to computer science, even user experience design, for example. Maybe you want to work in education, or you're thinking about K-12 or higher education in STEM fields, or even education of the general public. Environment and sustainability, definitely very important in today's world. Thinking about how we conserve our resources, perhaps, or make sustainable energy policy. So maybe you want to think about those areas. And last but not least, I know a lot of you type this into the Q&A box: healthcare, right? So maybe you want to work in medicine in whatever capacity that might be, as a physician, a nurse, therapist, a clinician, or even in public health, which I know over the past year we've seen as extremely, extremely important. So these are just a few of the areas that you might be thinking about when it comes to STEM. Of course, couldn't put all of the career areas up on the slide tonight. I know I was thinking as I prepared for this evening about my brother-in-law, who is a scientist at NASA Goddard Flight Space Center in Maryland. And only, part of his job is really described by the terms here on the screen. So definitely, the STEM field is ever growing and changing, but it's helpful sometimes to think about your end goal or, what you might be pursuing as you go through college. Even if you're not quite sure yet, it can be helpful to think of different ideas and kind of work backwards from there. So next thing I wanted to consider really is why pursue a career in STEM? Again, for many of you, this is second nature. You already understand this, and maybe it's a bit redundant for you. But I do want to highlight a couple things. So first, whether you know exactly what you want to study or you're still deciding, all of the STEM areas we offer here at Syracuse and at many other colleges and universities are going to prepare you with very critical skills, both for being, an engaged citizen in our world, but also for being a professional. So you're going to learn skills related to creativity, innovation, problem solving, critical thinking, all super important no matter what career field you pursue. In addition, STEM careers are growing. So job availability and security is going to be huge. Maybe this is going to help, convince your family or your parents that a STEM field is right for you. So according to the US Department of Commerce, actually STEM fields are growing right now at a rate of 24% compared to about just under 10% on average for other careers. So really strong area to enter now. Long lasting, again, transferable skills. So even if you enter into a particular career that you have in mind when you graduate from college, even if you change that career multiple times throughout your professional journey, you're going to be prepared with transferable skills that will help you make those leaps and jumps. And lastly, I know you know this, but the opportunity to impact society and future generations is a key part of STEM careers. So whether, again, that's coming up with different solutions, maybe it's engineering, different projects across our globe that are going to help improve life for people all around the world, or maybe it's coming up with a new medical treatment, really runs the gamut. So with that said, I know many of you probably have thought through those things already, but I wanted to give that foundation for us as a group as we dive into what are some next steps you can take if you're interested in STEM and thinking about your college or university journey. So what are some areas to consider? What are some programs to consider? And then also what we offer here at Syracuse. So the first thing I often have questions about as an admissions counselor is regarding majors. What is the right major? So this question, of course, is meant to be a little bit hypothetical. There is perhaps no one right major for a student interested in STEM or even in a certain career path. So on the left here, you can see a wide range of majors that we offer here at Syracuse. We actually have over 200 majors and 100 different minors, and many of our majors are also offered as minors. You can see that they really are very broad in scope. So everything from what you might traditionally think of, biology, chemistry, several different types of engineering, computer science, but also things like communication sciences and disorders, things like food studies, forensic science, psychology, public health, neuroscience, etc. So lots of opportunities. So many colleges and universities, including Syracuse, are going to offer opportunities for students to study a STEM subject that might not be offered at the high school level. So, maybe in high school you've been required to take certain science, certain math classes. Maybe you're taking biology, chemistry, earth science, environmental science, and physics, and that's really all you have to choose from. At Syracuse, you're not only going to have a much wider range of options in terms of a major, but also the ability to choose concentrations and minors that allow you unique approaches in a broad field. For example, our information management and technology major housed in our iSchool, or our School of Information Studies. That major offers 6 different concentrations, including things like data analytics, information security, and web design. So you really have the ability to choose, what fits you best and what career goals you have in mind, and you can work backwards from there, as we referred to earlier. Oftentimes, there are multiple paths to the same career outcome. I know many of you listed medicine, in the Q&A box earlier. So here at Syracuse, for example, we don't have a pre-med major or a pre-health major. You can actually major in anything you would like. And you'll work with advisors that we offer here at Syracuse to make sure you're taking the classes you need for graduate school. So whether you want to study bioengineering, biology, chemistry, public health, health and exercise science, etc., you can still apply to medical school and gain, continue on your path to being a physician or whatever other professional you hope to become, a dentist, a veterinarian, etc. That said, there are some specific majors that are needed or helpful for licensure. So for example, in our nutrition science and dietetics major, if you want to become a registered dietitian, there are some credentials that you need to have from your college or university that you will gain after taking all the required coursework that allow you to then sit for your licensing exam. So something to think about. It doesn't mean you have to be decided right now about what major you want, but as you make that choice when you're in college and you are exploring those classes, something to think about and talk about with your advisors. So with that said, I do want to mention the ability to apply and come in as an undecided student here at Syracuse. So if you definitely know what you want to study, you can certainly apply with a particular major in mind here at Syracuse University. But we also allow you to apply undecided. That means you have until the end of your sophomore year to declare a major. And you'll work, again, closely with advisors to schedule classes, still making progress towards graduation, earning credits, but to explore your interests until you land on the right program for you. Of course, last bullet point here, postgraduate credentials. So medical school, dental school, a PhD program, for example, might be required for your career of choice. We have excellent advisors and resources here for you as you pursue those options. So I've hinted at this as we went along, but why should you consider studying in a STEM field at Syracuse? I want to give you a few examples of some great resources and opportunities we have for students here. So backing up a little bit, so Syracuse is actually designated as a large institution. We have about 15,000 undergraduate students, 5,000 grad students, and we are designated as a Research One university. That means we put a lot of effort, resources, funding behind not only faculty research, but student research. So you're going to have a ton of opportunities, even as soon as your first year on campus, to participate in research related to your field. We have over 40 research institutes on campus, everything from our Gebbie Clinic for speech, language, and hearing to our Bio-Inspired Institute, which combines interdisciplinary study, thinking about global health issues. So while we are a large university and we have the resources like the Research One designation, we also are able to really offer small class sizes. So Syracuse is segmented into 10 undergraduate schools and colleges. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as we go along. But because we're segmented into those 10 schools, think colleges like our College of Arts and Sciences, our College of Engineering and Computer Science, we keep our classes really small. So our average class size is 26, and we have a 15-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So that means you're going to get to know your faculty members, your professors really closely, be able to meet with your advisors regularly, really get that support that you need, regardless of what STEM path you're taking. So again, expert academic and career advising. Many of our schools and colleges offer peer advising as well. And we also have programs like in our College of Engineering and Computer Science, the Office of Inclusive Excellence, which offers free tutoring, workshops related to diversity and inclusion in STEM, scholarship programs, etc. So lots of wonderful programs and advising open to students. If you are interested in medicine in some or health in some capacity, again, whether that be pursuing medical school, dental school, veterinary school, becoming a physician's assistant, a physical therapist, etc., our pre-health advising program is also available to all students. So again, no one major required. You could be in any of our 10 schools and colleges and receive advising from our pre-health office. They really work to connect you not only with the resources you'll need for graduate school, but also to get hands-on experience to volunteer, to intern, to shadow, and get that, real life experience that helps you kind of further develop your career path. Last but not least, I think Syracuse is a great physical location to attend college as well. We are located in the city of Syracuse, New York, which is a medium-sized city, and there are lots of opportunities, again, for hands-on and real-world learning while you're here. We actually are very close to 4 different hospitals in the city of Syracuse. So if you are hoping to work one-on-one with patients or in a medical setting, even in a clinical psychology setting, for example, we have lots of options for you to gain experience. Same thing with engineering and other options. Lots of different firms in the city of Syracuse will look for students for co-ops or other internship experiences. And then study abroad is huge at Syracuse. So over 50% of our students study abroad at least once, whether that's for a whole semester or for a short-term program. And our study abroad office really works hard to make sure that no matter what you're studying, you have the chance to go abroad. So, I've heard from other STEM students at other locations, they're worried about fitting in all of their lab courses and experiences with study abroad. That won't be a concern for you here. We can really work with you to make sure you can go abroad, whether it's for, again, a whole semester or perhaps for a short-term program in the summer. We even offer what we call discovery programs, which are open to students in our College of Arts and Sciences, our College of Engineering and Computer Science, and our Maxwell School, which is home to many of our social science majors. Discovery programs are designed for first semester, first year students. So you go abroad for your first semester together and then come onto campus together in January. So it's a great option for someone interested in STEM to get that kind of unique start to their college career. And then you can come onto campus and really focus on your studies. Okay, so I want to just parse a couple things for you. So I mentioned, we are a large university. We have the resources of a large university, but the feel of a much smaller institution. So one of the things that makes our institution feel a lot smaller is our office, The Source. So The Source is the hub of undergraduate research on campus. The office is actually about 2 years old now, and its whole purpose is to help undergraduate students pursue research opportunities. Again, you could be studying anything and pursue research on campus. Even if you have no idea where to get started, you can go into The Source. So your first year, second year student, for example, meet with an undergraduate research mentor. They're going to help you not only connect to different opportunities across campus, but you can even apply for funding for your own research as well. So really amazing opportunities related to research, hands-on experience. Perhaps, you're a student with an invention or an idea, or you really like to create. We also offer lots of opportunities for startup-like experiences, research and development of a product. One popular program that we offer is called Invent at SU, and usually that runs in the summer. And many of our engineering students and others work together to pitch a product. They do it Shark Tank style. They're receiving feedback, and they can receive and win seed money to further their invention after the fact. So really amazing work coming out of that program and others. Like our Blackstone Launchpad program, which is housed in Byrd Library, which again helps students with startup ideas. They are able to meet with professionals, receive advice, and continue on to receive additional funding if they would like to do that. We also offer over 300 student-run organizations here on campus. So many of them have a STEM focus. So for example, on the left here, you can see one of our students who's involved in the Syracuse University Ambulance Corps. SUA, as we call it, is a student-run EMT squad. So they will train you to be an EMT and you will respond to real emergencies. So wonderful experience if you're interested in medicine or thinking about working with patients in some capacity. We have other organizations that really run the gamut, everything from Citrus Racing, our Formula SAE team that designs, builds, and competes with their Formula engine every year, to our Slow Food Club, which focuses on sustainability, local and cultural food options, as well as Women in Technology, which is a networking and career support for women in the technology industry. So lots of options. I've only listed a few there. You can definitely go on our website and check out all of those great student organizations. Okay, so I mentioned that the purpose of tonight is really to be an overview, a brief overview to get you thinking about STEM in college or university and connect you to additional resources. So I want to talk briefly about what you can do now as a high school student to think about your STEM future, and then also connect you to some additional resources about Syracuse. So first, in terms of your immediate future, what can you do now to think about college and get prepared? The first is I would encourage you to consider the courses that you're taking. So you might be meeting soon, or maybe you've already done this, to schedule your classes with your high school counselor. I know many different colleges and universities have general recommendations on what they consider a competitive applicant to have taken at the high school level. Here at Syracuse, we generally recommend that students take 4 years of each of the core courses. So math, science, social studies, English, and 3 years of world language. Again, that's not a hard and fast rule. We will definitely still consider your application if you aren't able to do 4 years of the core courses and 3 years of language. But something that we generally recommend. So especially you might want to be thinking about your math and science courses if you're interested in STEM here at Syracuse or other universities as well. So definitely considering and asking schools that you're interested in, what they recommend, and talking to your high school counselor about those options. The next thing, I always recommend students explore clubs and community service related to their interests if they have time and it's available to them. So I'm not suggesting, you give up that sport or the musical theater that you've been so dedicated to throughout your high school years just to pursue another club related to science or math. But if you have the time and the flexibility, participating in community service or organizations related to your interests can help you think about, is this the path for me? If you volunteer with a Red Cross Club and put on a blood drive at your high school, and you realize you can't stand the sight of blood, might be a good learning experience for you as you navigate to the career that's best for you. Other things like research, job shadowing, and pursuing summer college programs are great ways to explore those interests as well. So I always recommend high school students talk to their high school counselor or a teacher in one of your STEM classes to talk about some opportunities. The internet is also a wonderful resource. I will mention in terms of summer college programs, many colleges and universities offer programs, whether in person or virtual, to high school students that are taught by faculty and staff at that institution. Here at Syracuse, our summer college program is called Summer College, and we offer over 70 different classes every summer to high school students. There is a fee for these classes, but we do offer financial aid and scholarships, so definitely something to consider. And you can peruse and see, would I actually enjoy a class taught on bioengineering or forensic science, and test it out. In terms of starting your college search, a couple recommendations. So first, review the academic offerings at the schools you're considering. So you'll want to look at those majors. Again, a major, it doesn't have to be the end all be all like we talked about. There are many majors you can take that can still lead you to the same goal. But it's good to know if you have options and what you can consider, or can you change your major? Can you have a double major? Can you have a major and a minor, for example? All good things to look at regarding the schools that you're starting to research. In terms of Syracuse specifically, so I mentioned we have 10 schools and colleges at the undergraduate level. Some of those that offer STEM majors are listed here on the screen. So our College of Arts and Sciences, our College of Engineering and Computer Science, our Fall College of Sport and Human Dynamics, our iSchool, and our Women's School of Management all are home to majors in science, technology, engineering, and math. They all also offer virtual programs that go deeper into the programs they have, minors, opportunities for research and engagement, internships, maybe what alumni of those schools are doing right now. So I definitely recommend, if you're considering Syracuse and you have a specific major or several majors in mind, to dive deeper and register for one of those sessions. Perhaps my colleague Mike is going to share that link with you in the chat. And ask questions. You'll be able, just like the session tonight, to type in your questions, ask about different opportunities, and get clarification. And that can help you think about what programs you might want to apply into, or if you're going to apply undecided, into one of those programs as well. That said, all different colleges and universities will offer different virtual options. So definitely recommend, as we're in this virtual world right now due to COVID, lots of information at your fingertips for you to take advantage of and start to explore what your next steps might be. So with that, I've been seeing that some questions coming through in the Q&A, so I definitely want to save some time for those. If you haven't been able to share your question yet, feel free to do that now. I'm going to also put our information on the screen here. So if we're not able to get to your question, or if something comes up for you tomorrow or next week, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. So our website, phone number, and email are here on the screen. We are definitely excited to speak with you and get your questions answered, again, no matter when they come in. Okay, so I'm going to pull up my questions here. First question I'm seeing from Seth. In your opinion, are there certain high school AP courses that really benefit students interested in studying STEM? Which math APs, for example, or stats? That's a great question. So I really think in this case, your best resource is going to be your high school counselor. So again, I mentioned at Syracuse, we recommend students take 4 years of each of the core courses, math, science, social studies, and English. AP classes, dual enrollment classes, IB classes, whatever your high school offers are great options for you to not only, have an option to explore rigorous coursework, but also to explore your interests. We do offer credit for APs and IB classes here at Syracuse. In terms of which ones you should take, that is really up to you and your interests. There's no one AP that we look for and say that one is more important than the others. So really, I would look at your interests. Maybe, for example, if you are interested in studying chemistry, go to Syracuse's chemistry website or another school that you're looking at and look at the course catalog and the classes required. Maybe a Calc 1 class is required. Maybe they're going to require other courses. You can kind of see, and that might be able to help you decipher which classes at your high school you want to try, just to test out to see if you like it. In terms of math, I definitely recommend reaching out to the school or college or program that you're interested in, again, here at Syracuse or another university, because different programs recommend different things. Again, we don't have a hard and fast rule here, so definitely recommend talking with your counselor, emailing us for additional information, but it is really a personal decision. Great question. Okay, I have a question here. What is a typical class size in freshman year? That's a great question. So on average across the university, our average class size is 26. A majority of classes, so about 60% of classes, are actually 20 students or fewer. There are some classes, especially at the introductory level, that might be 50 to 100 students, but those are going to be that's not going to be making up your whole schedule. So maybe you'll have 1 or 2 introductory classes like that, depending on your major and what you're studying, but it really depends. I know, for example, in our College of Engineering and Computer Science, all students take this first engineering kind of introductory seminar, and they purposely keep those classes really small to help you not only get your intro, get an introduction to each of the engineering specializations, but also so that you can make a strong connection to your faculty member and your professor. So it really does depend what you're studying, but again, most of our classes here are going to be very small. Okay, next question I'm seeing. How common is double majoring at Syracuse? What are some examples of STEM double majors? How long does it take a typical double major student to graduate? Ooh, trifecta of great questions. So double majoring is pretty common here at Syracuse. I would say if a student doesn't have a double major, perhaps it's common that they're taking a major and a minor, a major and multiple minors. So there are lots of different combinations a student might take, but again, pretty common. We design, most students, the goal is to graduate in 4 years. Depending on when you add that second major, it could lengthen your time to graduate, but hopefully your advisors are going to be going over all of that with you and encouraging you to do so early on so that you can still graduate in 4 years. We also offer what we call dual programs, which means we kind of decipher, we have a difference between dual programs and double majors here at Syracuse. So a dual program means that you are studying two majors in two different schools or colleges at Syracuse. A double major are two majors within the same school or college. So a little bit of, nitpicking there. In terms of a common STEM double major, we actually have some really common ones in our College of Arts and Sciences in what we're considering integrated learning majors. So often they're designed to be taken as a double major. So an example of this would be psychology and forensic science. Forensic science is an integrated learning major, meaning it's fewer credits designed to pair with another major of your choice, and really it allows you to kind of customize what you're studying and for your potential career path. So maybe you're thinking you want to work in criminal justice, maybe you want to work as a forensic scientist, crime scene investigator, you might pair that with psychology. You could also pair forensic science with another major, perhaps biology, etc. So lots of different options. If there are majors, whether you want a double, dual, minor that you're considering and you want to talk with us more about that, definitely email us and we'd be happy to help. Another great question coming in, do you have themed dorms for STEM students? Yes. So we offer, we have, I think, 21 different residence halls across campus. And we have what we call living learning communities within those. So there are several different themed living learning communities. Some are academic themed and some are more kind of special interest themed. Some of those that we offer for students interested in STEM, there is actually a STEM living learning community, but there are other ones focused on particular interests. We have an honors college living learning community, for example, and others. So definitely go on our website. Perhaps Mike is already sharing that in our chat. You can see all of those listed out for you. Great question. Benefits of a living learning community can be, maybe multiple of you are taking the similar classes and can work on homework or study together, or just having someone to ask advice about in terms of classes they've experienced, professors they've worked with, can all be great options. Okay, another question I'm seeing here. How hard is it to minor in music if you're a STEM major? Oh, I love this question. So the great thing about our minors here at Syracuse is you can add one onto your major no matter what you're studying, and it doesn't have to be related. So actually, we actually have a music performance minor that is designed with this in mind. So we know many students come into college, maybe they want to study business or engineering or science of some capacity, but they've played an instrument or sang since they were a small kid, right? And you want to keep doing that. So that minor will absolutely allow you to add on your interest in music and still continue on in your STEM studies. Actually, we also have many different performing arts organizations here on campus, everything from our marching band to different ensembles. So you can join those too, whether you're a minor or not. And I believe, I don't know if the statistic has changed, but I think the majority of our marching band is actually made up of College of Engineering and Computer Science students. So again, just a testament to how able you are to do that. Okay, question I'm seeing, and I'm looking at the time here, so I'm going to take maybe one or two more questions. I'm seeing a question, is it really competitive to get research opportunities? Great question. So this might vary based on what you are interested in researching. Oftentimes, a common way a student might start out getting research experience is working with one of their professors that they take class with. We have professors across campus, across disciplines, who are working either in one of our research institutes or on one of their own research projects. And many of them are often looking for research assistants at the undergraduate level. So that's a great way, kind of low pressure perhaps, and more available across campus to get research experience. But there are competitive programs that are, not just Syracuse based. They can be perhaps global or across the country that our advisors can help you apply for, fellowships and things like that. And then again, the source, our undergraduate research office is there to help you apply for funding and get connected to opportunities as well. So if research is something you're interested in, you will be able to pursue it at Syracuse. You're going to have plenty of assistance to do so. Okay. Last question I'm going to take here, and then I'm seeing a few more come in, so I just want to make a quick plug. Please, we will follow up with you regarding your questions, but if others come in for you, please don't hesitate to email us, orange@syr.edu. We would be happy to address your questions. Okay, if you are currently taking college classes in high school, will you still get the choice of doing a STEM-related major? So I think I know what you mean, so let me know if I don't answer this correctly. So perhaps many of you are taking, again, either dual enrollment classes in high school or AP classes that you're going to get college credit for. And so, does that mean that you have to study in those areas when you get to college? No. So oftentimes you will be able to earn college credit. Your advisor will review all of the classes you've taken that could be transferred in for credit here at Syracuse when you arrive. And then they're going to help you register for your classes related to the major you're taking, or if you're undecided, for those that you're considering. So it doesn't mean, if you take a college chemistry class that you have to major in chemistry. I'm hoping I'm answering that correctly. But if you have additional questions, again, please reach out to us. So with that, I'm going to close for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed our session. Again, if you have other areas of interest, we do have 3 additional college academic sessions coming up in the coming weeks. So I encourage you to keep contact with us, check out our website, and let us know how we can help you. Thanks so much for being with me this evening, and go Orange.